those starting pieces that we talked about earlier, yeah, they're here. They're actually in game. Starting armor sets will receive a revamp in patch 9.1.5.
Nice.
The current sets will be replaced with high-resolution armor sets with a simple aesthetic. So, yeah, there you go. Here's the one for the Druid. Here's the one for the Hunter. Zoom in. Come on. Come on. No zoom in.
Enhance.
Enhance.
There we go. You figured out
It's
the
still
British.
not particularly high res, let's be real. Maybe that's just like screenshot or something. So, yeah, we've got these. There's Mage.
Yeah, although I did actually see people be sort of annoyed by this because it's one bit of gear. At least for the mage robe. The mage robe, all the chest stuff was a robe. Instead of being, different pieces here and there. But minor point.
There's Paladin.
Yep.
So looking pretty good. Priest, which is, basically recolor of the Mage one. Rogue. I think that's real roguey. There's some people who would even want to use that in their endgame rogue, I think.
Yeah.
So I remember a lot of people like, the Defias set.
Yep.
Shaman, bit more simple. Doesn't really feel that Shaman-y to be.
Not almost exactly the same as Hunter.
Yeah, I think it's per set recolors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's per set recolors. Warlocks, then just that. Warrior is that. Like, I think the Warrior one is overall the best here.
It looks way too similar to the BFA stuff to me.
Okay, fair. Yeah, I guess I could see that. Now, there is a bit of a downside here.
Yep.
The old ones are not going to be obtainable. So, if you want something like the Apprentice's Robe, this one that like we've all seen, a million times, right? It seems like those won't be obtainable.
Well, they're grey, so they're not transmoggable anyway.
Yeah. Well, there's a really, really simple solution. Just put them in a vendor at starting zone.
Wow, what's that?
So hopefully they do that. Yeah. There you go. Maybe if I think they could look a bit better, to be honest.
They could, but one step at a time, I think.
Yeah.
I think.
So that's, yeah. That's that. That's the WoW news.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this is just 9.1.5's out. We're sort of filling in a few more of the details.
Yeah,
I think the big news will happen once we start thinking about what a 9.2 is, and once we get to see what 9.1.5 will actually let us do. Like, will there be Torghast changes that mean there can be leveling Torghast? At which case, do we do a bunch of leveling in Torghast, get a video on it, actually report to people what it's like. So who knows? I think there's a lot of things as well, like how the Covenant swapping works, not on the PTR yet. Legion time walking, not on the PTR yet. So there's a lot more to cover in terms of content. Right now, we basically just have patch notes and the few systemic changes that have actually made it into the PTR plus data mining.
Yeah, that's one of the things. There's so much just isn't in. So much they've announced isn't in, so there could be, everything could be beautifully implemented, or there could be a massive ton of problems and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, even thinking about what they expect for what's a high level of renown, so I don't think they've clarified that point. But if that's 80, then you run into a problem. If it's,
yeah.
To be fair, if it's above 40, you run into a problem.
Yeah, there's a lot of devils in the details and that kind of thing.
Yep. So we'll have to cover
this
them.
New class speculation.
That's probably talking about the survivor thing.
Oh yeah,
we covered that last week, I believe. Yes, we did. Where it was
maybe that's
data
referencing
miner
a clip or something.
Was the data miner found the the survivor string?
Hope that the clip didn't mislead anyone, because I actually don't know how it was thumbed and everything.
Was that a week ago? My brain's starting to really feel.
Oh no, that was as WoW getting a new class. Oh. Yeah, that's that. Well, I mean, whatever.
Yep.
It wasn't dislike bombed. We'll live.
Yeah, so I think the answer is resounding. Probably not. Probably not. But for a bit, suppose we covered it in the clip. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Right. So the final thing, just want to recap some of the videos we've done this week. So. Yes. We've got our 9.1.5 sort of review overcap thing. If you want a quick version of all of that, you can go there, and also my opinions and some more of the things. We've got a message to the World of Warcraft team. This is pretty big one. Blizzard have done a good start, but this is really us laying out what we think leads to WoW being in a way better state within like a year. Yeah. So I think that's a pretty good one to check out. For the news channel, then we have got oh baby, we touched on it today, but a lot more in depth on the Hearthstone stuff and what it sort of achieves from a business angle. Fascinating shit, really is. Then we've got Blizzard cleaning house in Overwatch and World of Warcraft. Top prize for guessing what that's about. China gaming restrictions. This is fascinating. Only 3 hours of video games a week if you're a kid. And you can really tell why a lot of Chinese big companies are maybe thinking about the future of being in the West for their games, because turns out the people who are impacted by this will be highly monetizable 20-somethings in like a decade. Mm-hmm. And if they are playing less video games because of state regulations, well, what does that mean for the state of the Chinese game market in 10 years? What? Is it, sort of constraining the supply of new people entering the games market because they can only play a tiny amount of games, so they don't really get into them? We've got controller patents as well, which is quite interesting because it's why backpedals have not been as much of a thing as they really should have been.
Despite how great they would be for you playing FF.
Yeah, we've got a stealth downgrade to the PS5, kind of maybe interesting stuff. There was less copper in it and higher vent temperatures for heat. Will that impact the CPU? Who knows? Maybe iFixit or Gamers Nexus will dive a little bit more deep into this one.
I actually think Digital Foundry posted some findings on that. I actually didn't check them yet.
Okay,
well, I believe they posted findings on that.
And then we've got EA doing some big chatting because, of course, we've got the news channel with lots more content on it as well,
and more coming over the weekend.
Yes, actually, there's a good few stories. There's that whole one of fraud that you went really deep in on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is probably interesting for the less general video game audience, but look out for that. I don't know when it's going up. It's either tomorrow or Sunday evening or afternoon. But basically, there's a story about a couple of people who may or may not be single-handedly within a group of maybe, core group of maybe 3, maybe 4 people who are responsible for how in 2017 you were seeing Super Mario Bros. Kart sell for $30,000 and then a while ago it sold for $2 million. That's a pretty high bit of inflation. Could be the 3 or 4 people are behind that, and they may also have used the History Channel's Pawn Stars as a vehicle to do that.
Crazy story.
Because people will go to insane lengths to make some goddamn money. Legal disclaimer, I am not suggesting any of these people have any fraudulent behavior, except for one of them who's caught for fraudulent behavior in the past.
Yeah. So it's some good shit.
Yep.
Well, some good shit indeed. I've got to be honest, though, it is time to end the stream. And I know this will be one of our shortest in a good long while. And,
2.5 hours
generally we haven't been doing like the big crazy long streams. Look, the reason why is we are just really busy because we have the game studio stuff. We just have, look, as you know, if a game is going to be coming out, there's a whole bunch of things that need to be done. Now, I can say, I believe we've mentioned it, but that's a next year thing. But look, at some point, we're going to have to start talking about those things, like properly and publicly. At some point, we're going to have to talk about how, we have, it's not just us involved, right? There's a partner, as there tends to be with games. There's, the developer, then there's somebody else. There's just a whole bunch of things, and we just have a lot of work to do. At the same time, we really need to get more of the podcasts done. We have a bunch of internal things that we need to kick off that are all, good and pro there being more content. And with game dev on that side, it's not just going to be us being, oh, here's the game. We do want to do more. We want to, we want content in and around that because there's a lot of stuff that we can't share, a lot of mistakes we've made, a lot of things we've learned, just, shit that I think people will want to hear. Because, we haven't just went and been like, yes, our infinite well of YouTube money, because it's literally not that. We've just went and made games. Ooh, done. No, the games things involved me and Thomas going to Gamescoms and Game Connect or Games Connection. Yes, it was Games Connection France at the same time as the Paris Game Show like a few years ago. But there's a lot of stories, a lot of things, because even though we do have the whole YouTube thing existing, we very much did the game studio stuff in a bit of the traditional way, which was how we kicked it off. So there's just a whole bunch to go into, and that just means we need to get a whole bunch of things ready. So
hopefully you will enjoy.
Yes, basically TLDR, Zug fucking Zug.
Yep.
Lots of Zug needed. There's going to be a bunch of work. It's going to be fun though, and of course it's all in the name of getting you guys a whole bunch of cool shit. Cool shit is in fact why we do all of this.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be it for me and Matt today. We will be back for the stream the same time next week. Hopefully by that stage there'll be another PTR build, which will give us some fun new things to talk about. Hopefully I will be a little bit closer to finishing ARR. And that's where we are. Busy boys. So
buzz.
See you later.
Yeah.
Need to get a more smooth outro.
So good night, everyone.
Yeah, good night.
See you later.
And see you next time.